want to welcome in, Mike, before we get to defense, Coach Kile from Pennsylvania. We haven't been able to catch up with him for a few weeks. We're dying to do that. So, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How's it going, Coach?
Good, man. Great to see you and hear your voice. Everything going well out in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's going good. Last time I came on, I was telling you guys about the potential of starting.
Yeah, exactly.
And in between talking to you and actually getting the go-ahead, we had a couple hiccups going back and forth with the PIAA, which is the sanctioning body out here in Pennsylvania, and the governor. Long story short, we started. So
nice.
We're on week 3, going into week 3 right now. So, like I said, we've been doing we were doing summer voluntary workouts with the kids the whole time in anticipation for it, and it kind of hit the ball running. There's a slightly different schedule. Our varsity usually plays 10 games. Now it's down to, I believe, 7. They put together 7 games for the junior high, which is pretty much what we get normally. So
nice.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. So far, so good.
Okay, so before I'm gonna start asking you about what's working, what's not working. Let's just reset with everyone. You're in Pennsylvania. You coach a junior high team. Is it just like Mike's, where it's 7th and 8th grade together, 6th, 7th, and 8th? How does that work for you guys again?
Well, yeah. We mostly play small school ball, so I think our graduating classes out here are in the 30 to 50 student range.
Wow.
So it's a mostly rural league.
Cool.
And there's 6 classifications in Pennsylvania, single A through 6A, and we're single A. And most of the teams that we play up here are. So to answer your question, the long way to answer your question, we have 7th and 8th graders, but then many teams will throw in 9th graders too. So there's a mix.
And how does that work? That's just like if they're not getting playing time up there, or if they're just didn't play in high school. I
think it's dependent on each program kind of makes their puts their kids down for the needs that fits the best. And usually if you see a 9th grader down there at the junior high level, there'll be somebody that's kind of small or undersized, or will kind of get lost in the mix at the varsity level, at least for a year. Sometimes. So
right.
Other
every week it's just one game every week. When you guys play, do y'all play like a dead ball game or anything to let everybody play, or is it just a one regulation game? And how many minutes is that, if you don't mind my asking?
So we have 8-minute quarters.
Okay, so you'll have one 8-minute quarter regulation game each week. Yep.
Thursday nights. Yep. And then after the game, if the teams are big enough and have a what they call out here a 7th grade team, we'll play like a B game. So it's like an A and B.
Cool. Right. That makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
And so this year was going to be, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to remember, this was going to be your first year running air raid, or did you guys start to dabble in it a little bit?
No,
before?
It is. It's definitely our first year. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's right. And we have Nate Hanks, right? That's the high school coach that you're associated with.
Yep.
That he runs. Okay, cool. And he runs a high school team.
Yep.
Awesome. Great. And so you guys are both running air raid, from what it sounded like.
Yeah. He did a lot of the legwork in the summer back when I got hired. This is my first year out here with all the COVID stuff happening. And, so we came in, and they were looking for some answers for some questions that they had on offense, and he did a lot of the research and had a lot of the contacts already. So when I got on board, they were already working on this. And I just kind of said, because my big philosophy is if I come into these systems, I'm going to run whatever the varsity does, and that doesn't always happen, which I think is a huge detriment to any program.
100%.
But so I said, hey, whatever you guys do. So I didn't know, I used some air raid concepts in other schools that I coached, but nothing like full bore. And he was all about full bore going, and he got the, he went out and got air raid certified and all that stuff. So he kind of is our local resident expert about the X's and O's stuff for the air raid. So yeah, we kind of sat together back in June, and then I started getting online and looking for information, and I came across you back in June. And yeah, I mean, that's when I started touching base with you, and here we are.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited you get to play, man. I'm a little jealous, but I will live vicariously happily through it.
Yeah.
So cool. So then now here it is. We've maybe a weird camp. What kind of training camp did you get? Like your full 3-4 week training camp, or did you have to do some things different that you wouldn't have had to worry about with COVID? Or
no, it was we have a lot of extra paperwork in place, and thank God I had a little bit of experience with being the head coach at a system like this. So I came in and yeah, I mean, the paperwork is tripled, so we have to like test the kids' temperatures and take care of all that noise stuff, I call it, right? Like before we get on the football field. But yeah, I mean, once that is all taken care of, we got a full camp in. Nice. We started summer workouts, and especially because it was a new system, I think we started our voluntary workouts back in June 22nd. So nice. we were rocking and rolling with the junior high kids. I gave them 1 day a week. So we had, you know, I really, you know, your information online was invaluable. So I took your installs and this was even after talking to you, because you were actually making up that whole system and that page when I first met you. So yeah, you did that, and I watched it, and I took basically, yeah, you know, like, you know, football coaching isn't reinventing the wheel. It's kind of finding somebody else's wheel. You know what I mean? So
100%. That's not my wheel. I took it from a bunch of other people. So I'm glad it helped. That's all we were trying to do, is just package it in a way where it'd be one place where you can get it all, right? Like that.
Yeah, man, it was great. So we came into those summer workouts, and I had the whole quick game in, I had the whole drop back game in, and I had two out of the 3 runs that we picked, because I stayed with three for each, like you do.
Good.
And we had the screens in, and we just did again. So basically, camp was a review. And some of the kids, since it was voluntary, you know, some of the kids didn't show up. So got the full team there and started going. And really by day 4, we were ready to play football. So it was.
Love it.
Yeah, it was a lot of review time. So by the time we were ready to go and actually play a game, we knew it pretty good.
Beautiful. So let's get to it, man. The games start. How'd it go? You're 3 games in. You said you're going into your 3rd game this week.
Yeah, we're going into our 3rd week, and we're 1-1. So our first game was great, man. I mean, it was great. We have a really young crew, so every single one of my skills kids are young 7th graders. It's their first experience at the junior high level, and you know that's a big jump, because like junior high, you know, especially when you put like 9th graders in the mix like they do out here in PA sometimes, that's the disparity in size and maturity between a 7th grader and a 9th grader, or even an 8th grader, is paramount. Like these kids could get 4 or 5 inches and gain 30 pounds between their 7th and 8th grade year. So literally, I think that's the year that I got little kids running around at my skills positions, but man, they are loving it. So. Yeah, and you know what? Not to get too far in the future, because you are playing for now. You're here to play for now, and probably there's not a better offense to take 7th graders into battle when you're outsized and out, you know, skilled. I mean, maybe they're probably a little faster 8th grade too, right? But I mean, you got the right battle plan for sure to go against maybe a physically superior opponent if you run into that. So yeah, that's awesome. And so so the first game, like what kind of plays did you guys run? What kind of success, or what did you have success with, I should say? The first game we played a team that was a lot bigger than us, very rural. It was about an hour and a half away, and they're you know, at least we call them big country boys out here, so they like to hit and get physical and stuff. So the inside runs, I put in our runs are I kept your GT counter, which works great, by the way, if we can walk. So yeah, exactly. But if you got kids who are oversized, sometimes that becomes difficult. But so I had the draw, sweep, right, and I have the GT counter. So those are my 3 basic runs. And every once in a while, I haven't done it in a game yet, but I kind of have been messing around with jet a little bit. I'm trying to put my own little wrinkle into some of the offensive packages. That didn't really work in this game. We got a couple yards here or there on draw, and they had a couple good guys on the edges that were kind of overpowering our tackles. So we ended up doing quick screens, man, and we were lighting them up. It was one of the craziest games I've ever been involved in. I've played football and been around football most of my life. We were up 20-0 on the team at halftime. Now, a little bit of backstory. This football team that we went up to play has been pretty much dogging us for the last 5 or 6 years. Bigger kids, really, just taking the wood to them, kind of. And none of these games have been close, from what I've been told. So we went there, and with a bunch of young kids, and we put a 20 burger up on them by halftime, and it was like the Super Bowl. They loved it, and it was literally we ran nothing but Randy, Larry, Rita, Lita. That was it. And they did not just get the outside. The kids were making some bad cuts here and there. They could have got a couple extra yards if they bounced it outside as opposed to inside. All that small stuff you got to fix. But yeah, man. I mean, if we would have stopped that game at halftime, we would have been Super Bowl champs, But but
that's awesome.
So then they were all excited. It was the first time that ever happened to them. And like I said, this is a program that we're building. And so we came out after halftime, and those guys on the other team decided that they were going to, kind of reel in the reins a little bit and basically just do student body left and rights on us. And they got pretty good chunks of yardage back on us, so they ended up scoring. Then I wouldn't say the wheels came off, but we stopped tackling and making all those mistakes that junior high kids make, and ended up losing 30-26 with a last-second touchdown. Yeah, so that was pretty rough. But the kids were excited, man. I mean, I kind of went through and initiated some film review with them, and we talked about some things and how to close out and finish games and stuff like that. And it's crazy how when kids are like at that age, when they're bought into a system, how you'll get the response by listen. They love film. Every single one of my kids is signed up and uses Huddle at least track their hours. You know what I mean? So they're using it at least 3 hours a week.
Nice.
Looking at the film and stuff. So yeah, we just hit the ground running. Didn't really change anything. Just said, hey guys, trust the system because it's good. It's going to get you guys where you need to go. And so hit the ground running back there on practice for the week 2, and came out and just basically didn't do anything different. Just ran our offense, and everything came together last week. So I'm curious to see how it works out in week 3.
Yeah, great. How many points do you put up in week 2 in the win?
42.
Woo!
Yeah. Nice.
More quick screens, or did you guys any other plays that stood out?
What's that?
Any other plays that stood out on week 2? I'm assuming you did more quick screens. It sounds like, and
we did a couple Randy Larrys, but our run game on week 2. I mean, I kind of set the challenge for the offensive line to kind of man up in week 1, and I'm starting to keep stats now for the kids because they're all in it and they love it. So I never did that at the junior high level before, but I've been doing it for these guys, and I kind of told them set the challenge for the other line, and they did. So we kind of split. We obviously had a lot more passing than run, but I mean, we really, like, our running back got a lot of huge runs that kind of opened it up, and the linemen were hat on a hat and driving their feet and all that stuff you want junior high kids doing. We ended up putting up 42 points on them, and they scored 8. So
nice.
Right at the end when we took out all of our guys, and so everybody got play, everybody was happy, and all was right with the world. So now we'll see what we get for Big 3.
That's awesome, Crow. Congrats, man. That's so cool. I'm so excited to hear the success so far, and you know, even if you do lose one, you know, that's just all learning for them. You're building a beast then if you got 7th graders at the helm right now and you got a whole nother year with them. So, you know, that's great, and that's a testament to your coaching. So great job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my 7th grade quarterback. Yeah, every single one of the skills kids are 7th graders.
Wow,
and we have a couple of 8th grade offensive linemen, and that's our football team. But he's putting up some pretty good stats coming from a system. I think one of the assistant coaches was there from years past, and he's like, man, we already scored more points in week 2 than we did all year for the last 3 years. So they love it.
What did they do last year? What offense did they run? If you don't mind my asking.
It was the varsity ran kind of like a hybrid spread, but the junior high didn't. It was all student body left right, run heavy. Yeah, they never really had a quarterback that can throw, but I put we put a lot of work into this quarterback, and he got an arm for a 7th grader for this area.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I would never discount the stat taking piece of it. When I started doing that this last year on Huddle, and you know, you just do it as a part of your film review. Like you're in there anyway as a coach watching film. You might as well put in the formations. You might as well put in what play it was. You might as well put in the stats behind it. And dude, the kids would go in there, and after about half the season, I wasn't doing defensive tackles. I was like, I didn't even think about it, right? I was just doing offensive stats. And the kids were getting mad at me because I wasn't putting in the tackles, and I totally was sending the wrong message. But it drives them. It's modern football. It's modern data, right? Kids these days expect to have all that information at their fingertips, and now they get to be the ones behind the stats. So kudos to you, man. I think if you guys have the ability to get Huddle or whatever it is that you get, and you have the system set up, all you coaches out there, I would take the time to do it. It only is going to motivate your team, your players more. All right, Coach. Anything that has not worked that you are surprised about? Any lessons learned on that side of it besides all the positives? So I want to be realistic and see if there's anything that you wish you had done differently, or just curious.
No, I mean I'm still kind of learning this system too. So really, besides not finishing on defense, the only mistake that was made as far as the offense is concerned came from me. I mean, and that was on that first game. We were completely dogging them with Randy and Larry, and then I put in the Foxes. So and that's huge at junior high. And these kids were so wide open, nobody within 20 yards of them, because they haven't really seen that kind of stuff before. And I ran, ironically, this is just me play calling. Like I was overestimating the defense's ability to make adjustments. And we hit them with a Randy on the right side and then Randy Fox. And it was wide open, but the kid just incomplete, just threw it over him a little bit. So I went right back to the other side and did a Larry. And by that time, it was like probably the 17th screen we threw on them. So there, and I'm like, well, they just saw that Fox on this side. So, it's Madden, you're a coach, you overthink everything. So I'm like, well, I want to try and do it. I think it's going to be there, but I'm going to set it up on the other side first. Well, I did, and they ended up running that Larry and ended up getting it picked off. But that was pretty much it. That was just a play call. Quarterback comes off. He's a little upset. I'm like, hey, man, that's on me. I should have just went with it on that side. But there wasn't – I mean, there isn't much that hasn't been working at one point or another with just 2 games in. And this offense is so defense specific. You know what I mean? So whatever they're throwing at you, you can make adjustments to it. And so I mean, if something isn't working, something will be. So.
Right. No, I love it. I love it. I love it. And just curious, Coach, have you this part in your evolution? Are you guys huddling? No huddle?
No
what?
Yeah, no huddle.
No huddle?
Yeah, we are going. I in camp, I kind of got the stopwatch out, and it was a little, probably a little aggressive with it, but I got them running plays for every 14 seconds, and they were running them pretty fluid. So we know how. I actually came up with it, and I didn't make it up, but I started thinking about, hey, what would be a good way to call plays for these guys to get the buy-in, and all that stuff. So we actually went with play cards, like the big pictures that you see on the colleges.
Yeah.
So we do that. Yeah, we do that, and the kids love it, and we can go really fast, really fast.
That's awesome. Someone just asked you about it. So just as a note for all you guys at home watching.
Tempo gives you the ability to take a big, strong guy and drag him to the deep end of the pool and drown them.
And drown them. That's one of my favorite clips from Coach Salas. So I'm going to use that thing every time we talk tempo because I just love it so much. Coach, your buddy's chiming in that the future is bright in Montgomery. That's where you are, Montgomery, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Nathan Hanks. So yeah, man, we appreciate you stopping by and sharing with us. You don't have any films, are you guys recording these games?
No, not yet. Well, we've just been downloading the stuff to Huddle right now. So my film is pretty limited.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. Well, if you ever want help doing that, let me know. I'm more than happy to get it going and helping you because we love watching film, and it sounds like you're putting up points and running the same stuff that we're running. So, Coach,
sure.
thanks for jumping in. Hey, anytime you have an update, please come in. Feel free. We're gonna always try to kick off these shows, hearing what's going on out there in the world. So, thanks for coming in and sharing a little bit what's going on up there, and congrats on all the success, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I will. I watch the show every week, even though I hop on YouTube and watch it, even though I don't come in. So I'll definitely provide you updates as we go along here. We'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, good things are happening so far.
Absolutely, Coach. And Joe Salas is in the house. Hey, Coach Joe. I hope you don't mind me using your face and video and audio. I just love that clip so much.